is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions. We're up to week number 254. And what are we making today? We are making Joie quick and easy pockets. So they're pockets inspired by the lovely Joie. So pockets for your junk journals. They're quick and easy, and yeah, I hope that you're going to really like them. I will try and remember to link Joie's original video down below. If I forget that, please just nudge me in the comments. I'm just memory like a sieve. So if you want to make along with me this week, what are you going to need? So I've brought along a bunch of papers. Now mine are digitals, and I say this every week. Mine are digitals. That's because that's what I predominantly use nowadays. But you could use any papers that you like. Now, the other reason why digitals are going to be so good for this project is because they lend themselves pretty perfectly to using an A4 sheet of paper. I might cut some down slightly, but the overall, certainly width of the pockets is guided by the piece of paper. So if you were using, say, a scrapbooking pad, you know, some scrapbooking 12 by 12 paper, I would cut it down to roughly an A4 sheet, which is the 11.5 or 11.69 or something by, oh, I don't know, I've got a complete blank. Is it 8.75 or something? Oh, I don't know why, but the last two times that I've mentioned it, I've just had a complete blank of what the actual sizing is. Anyway, it's very similar to like the US letter page size. So yeah, I would cut it down to that. The other thing that I would mention, I wouldn't recommend using too thicker paper, because these pockets, they have quite a few folds that are going to overlap with other folds, if you see what I mean. So if you're using a scrapbooking paper that's very thick, you know, I love to use the 230 GSM paper, which I'll just quickly show you here. This is very thick, and because there's some overlapping folds, it would bulk it out a bit much. So I'm using 120 GSM. This is a presentation paper. It's a lovely quality. It's thicker than a copy paper, but it's not kind of too thick, so it's not going to add the bulk. So that's the chat about paper. You're going to need some scissors or a paper trimmer, depending on how you like to cut your papers down. And then I'm going to be using a glue spreader. I always just use like an old store card, or, you know, key card, or yeah, gift card, any of those kinds of things. And I've got a dried wet wipe, because I like to be able to mop my glue out and things. And then the glue that I use, I always really use the Anita's Tacky glue. It's a PVA based glue, and that's my glue, sort of go-to glue for paper type items, but of course use the glue that you kind of, you know, get on best with. Then optional extras, you might want to have like some distress ink and a blendy tool and things for if you want to distress your pieces. And then you might want to have some pieces to decorate, but I will obviously only decorate one up at the end. So we're going to, yeah, assembly line these and kind of mass make a bunch. So I'm going to do a couple of tutorials, or, you know, run through a couple in tutorial format for you to kind of see how they're made. So I've got this paper here. This is from my Yellow Roses collection papers. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn it over so it's upside down. I've not cut it down or anything. It's its complete size. And then all I want to do is fold the very edge in, probably like about a centimetre's width. So this is probably the most fiddly part of this, because obviously you're just, you know, getting a kind of smallish piece. And as you can see, mine's gone completely wonky there. So yeah, this is the piece, or this is the part that I find probably trickiest, is actually trying to get my fold to go down the whole length of the paper, kind of similar, or staying kind of the same width the whole way down. Not great. So I mean, if you've got a scoreboard or something, then obviously that might be more useful. I don't use things like that, so yeah, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants, as they would say. So that's hence mine, you know, bit touch and go. So yeah, it's approximately a centimetre. I just check. Mine's just over a centimetre, but you know, around about that sort of size. Okay, and then you're going to fold your other side. So while it's still upside down, fold that over to the other edge, if you see what I mean. So you've got your folded in edge, and you're going to fold this to meet the actual outer edge. So it's overlapping the folded edge. So like that, okay? And then again, you can squish that down. And then all we're going to do is we're going to form our pocket by folding one of the pieces up. Now this is where, you know, I said I might cut mine down slightly in terms of height. this is the point where you're going to kind of probably want to cut yours down. So get your piece to, you know, kind of roughly the height of the complete pocket that you want it to be, like that, and then squish that down. And then I'm just going to now cut this pocket down to roughly where I would like this pocket to be. So I'm kind of thinking maybe like here. Okay, like that. Okay, that looks pretty good size. So then reopen your piece out and we're going to just glue it all together. So I'm going to glue this folded edge down. So, and when I do things like this, I like to try and put a bit of glue on the outer edge and a bit of glue on the inner edge, if you see what I mean. So hopefully then it's glued completely. Squish that down like that, and then just smoosh your glue down. So like that, and like that. Okay, just mop that up a bit. Okay, and then you're going to just take your pocket part, that's, you know, the fold up pocket, and you're going to put it up like this. Now at this point you want to just glue your pocket down on two sides. So I'm going to glue it down this side and along the top. So you don't have to glue the bottom obviously, because that's already attached to the paper. So just a couple of bits of glue there and just squish that down like that. Okay, I'm just going to get another wipe because that one's a bit messy already. So one that I've been using yesterday. There we go. Squish your pocket down like that. Okay, so what you've then got is you've got a top loading pocket. If I just kind of pull this in. So you've got a top loading pocket here. Then you've got a pocket at the front like this. And then you've also got a side loading pocket there. So in that sort of, you know, whole pocket, you've got three pockets, and then potentially you could have four, because when you glue it down on the page, depending on how you glue it, you could have maybe another, you know, another sliding in pocket to the side. So they are super quick and easy, aren't they? But they're a really effective pocket with lots and lots of room for, you know, for your papers and your bits to go in. So I'm going to show you again how to do that. So I'm just going to move this to one side. So I'll just grab in another paper. So I'll try and use a different one so it's a bit more interesting rather than just seeing similar colours again. So this one is from my new Easter collection papers. I just put those in my shop on Friday, I think it was, or Saturday it might have been. So this is my Easter collection for 2025. We turn it over. We fold the edge in, remember, by just kind of, you know, a small smidge, so kind of like a centimetre. Again, this is where I struggle to get it, get it even the whole way up the piece of paper. Like that, okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. Oops. Squish that down. Yeah, I mean, I've moved mine slightly, so it's definitely not perfect. Come on, move over. There we go. Like that. Okay. Okie dokie, like that. And then you're going to fold this piece, this side, over to meet this outer edge. Like that. Okay. And then then you're going to squish that down. So fold that in, squish that down like that. And then you're going to fold this part up to meet the top part, if you see what I mean, just to roughly kind of how, you know, how big you want your pocket to be, how tall altogether. And then we're going to cut the pocket down. So I'm going to bring it up to about this height. And if you're wondering how high this is, I'll just tell you the rough height of it. So we've got 2, 4, 6, just under 7 inches, that is. And I mean, I tend to make quite biggish journals. So I mean, of course, again, you know, if you make smaller journals or something, then who knows, you may want to have yours smaller than that. I'm then just going to cut my pocket to the approximate height that I would like that to be, like that. Oops, I've not cut that very straight. Let's just go in and cut it like that. There we go. And then I'm going to just glue it all together like that. Again, glue on the inside and then a run of glue up the outside. Oops, just got a bit much glue there. Bring your sides over to meet. There we go, 1, 2, like that. Squish them down like that, and then this folds up, and then if you remember, we just literally ran some glue along the top edge here and down the side, so a bit of glue here and a bit of glue straight down the side there, and then we just smoosh that down. Like that. Okie dokie. And that again is all there is to those pockets. So I mean, they really couldn't be easier, could they? You know, brilliant pockets. Totally not my idea, but yeah, very, very cool pockets, giving you lots of, you know, lots of room for tucking things. So I hope you like them. We're just going to now get on with a kind of assembly line style. So for anyone who doesn't watch my channel, what I'm going to do is do all of the same stages at the same stages, if that makes sense. So all of my folds kind of at the same time, and then like the trimming and then the gluing all at the same time, which will hopefully be a really efficient way to be able to make a ton of these pockets ready to, you know, have in our sort of ready-made stash for our junk journals. So yeah, let's just kind of relax, have a catch up, have a very productive, hopefully kind of, you know, 40 minutes or so, and yeah, just have a nice time. So I will remember, or I will try and remember to tell you the papers that I'm using as I'm using them. So these two are, again, these are both from my new Easter collection for 2025. So I'm just going to kind of fold a couple of those in here. They're the plainish papers from that collection, which I've got obviously lots of papers with the bunnies and things like that, but there's a couple of just the plain papers, and this is a couple of them. And hopefully they're just going to go on, you know, any journal anyway, so they don't have to be in an Easter journal as such. So I might do all of my folds that are, oh gosh, what's this? Is this vertical? Vertical. I don't know why, but for some reason I can never get my head round which is vertical and which is horizontal. You know, when you say it, I'm like, ooh, I think this is vertical. So I might do all of my vertical folds first. Oh, actually, it probably doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'll do all of my folds, and then we'll do all of the cutting. So like that. So yes, I hope that everybody's week has started out well. It's, yeah, a grey dismal day here, but hopefully it might improve, although I don't know really what the weather forecast says. It maybe is not forecast to actually, you know, improve. I'm not sure, if I'm truthful, but we did have a lovely weekend. It was very, very cold, but it was very bright and sunny, which was gorgeous. So yeah, that was quite nice. What have I been up to? So I had such a wonderful weekend, I have to say. So my lovely friend, the friend who got me into crafting in the first place, now she doesn't live near me or anything, so unfortunately we used to see her and her husband and their kids and things, you know, as a couple when I was married, with our kids. And then, you know, kind of it gets difficult because the kids are just, you know, busy with their lives kind of thing. So, you know, it becomes tricky to kind of like then go and stay for a weekend. And because they obviously don't live close, you know, we couldn't really just kind of pop up for the day as well. I mean, we could have done, but yeah, it was a long way to go. So we ended up kind of, you know, just not really seeing so much of each other. And then I popped up and saw them around about this time last year on my own, which was kind of like my first outing on my own, if you know what I mean. I mean, that sounds a ridiculous thing to say, doesn't it? But because I went to stay for the whole weekend, you know, just completely me on my own without the children at all. And to be honest, I don't even know if I've ever done that in my whole life. I know that sounds really strange, but, you know, because obviously before children, it would have been with my husband before then, maybe, you know, with a boyfriend at the time and things like that. I don't think I'd ever really been away kind of somewhere for a whole weekend on my own. This is from my Yellow Roses collection again. So, yeah. Anyway, I had a wonderful weekend. I'd felt really nervous about going, and then I had such a wonderful weekend. Anyway, that was nearly a whole year ago. Maybe it was a whole year ago. It was around about this time anyway, last year. So you know what it's like. We're those types of friends who, you know, ages can go by, but there's never any need for an apology or like, oh gosh, sorry, I haven't contacted you for ages. You know, we can just email one another out the blue 6 months apart, and we just literally, we're sisters when we meet up, and just love her so much, you know, like kind of yeah, more like family than a friend. So yeah, anyway, she messaged me a couple of weeks ago and she said that she had got a car of her own. So before, they had a kind of shared family car. So, you know, if she had have come to see me, her husband would have been at home, you know, without a car, which I guess he, you know, he didn't really want to do. And I had obviously said, you know, he was more than welcome to come. But, you know, he kind of said, oh, what will I, you know, not to me, but obviously to her, he said, oh, well, you know, I'll be a bit bored. Because, of course, she's my friend who got me into crafting. So there's an element of time spent crafting. So, yeah, he obviously, you know, wasn't fussed about coming. So, yeah, they kind of hadn't come for a long time. But anyway, she's finally got a car of her own now. And so she messaged me and she said, oh, I've got a car of my own now. She said, so I can have a bit more freedom. So, yeah, she said, when are you free? You know, I can come up on the 15th. So, oh my goodness, so thrilled to bits. So, yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago. She'd emailed me. And, yeah, so she came up on Saturday. And it was a really nice day, actually. So, yeah, it was really bright and sunny and things. So that was absolutely lovely. And oh, it was so good to see her. So on Saturday, what did we do? She probably arrived around lunchtime, I suppose. And we went to, what did we do? We went to Costa. Yeah, always love a Costa. She loves a Costa as well. So, yep, we went to Costa and we went with my son and my daughter as well. Because, you know, she's more like family than a friend. We all kind of got to know their family very well and, you know, vice versa. So, yeah, we all went for a Costa and that was really, really nice. And, yep, had a lovely time. And then came home, and to be honest, the time just like whizzed by, and before we knew it, it was kind of like 5:45. And I'd messaged her and I said, oh, shall I book a restaurant, you know, for just the two of us while you're here? So she said, oh yeah, you know, and again, we didn't necessarily kind of go out to eat very, very much before, you know, when they used to come to stay, because obviously, you know, there was 5 children there, kind of like between all of our children, you know, I mean, obviously my children had got a bit older. Well, her children are 16 now. So, yeah, we had anyway a range of ages. And that's another reason why, obviously, at first they all used to play. And then, of course, they get to different ages and they're wanting to do different things. So, you know, another reason why, obviously, we saw less and less of each other. And then COVID came. Of course, I think we were scheduled to go there during COVID, and obviously then had to cancel cancel because of COVID. And yeah, just haven't seen them for a long time. But anyway, so yeah, I said to her, oh, shall I book a restaurant for us to, you know, while you're here? So she said, oh yes, that would be lovely. So there's a lovely restaurant here called Bill's. I think I have talked about it before. It's very nice food. Sorry, I'm just deciding which way I want this to go. Which way down do I want it? This way. Yeah. Oh, this is the Mulberry Garden paper. Yeah. Collection papers this is. So yeah. No, not a collection papers. This is my new kit that I put in my shop last week. So yeah, that's some paper from that. And this also is from that same Mulberry Gardens papers here as well. So anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, I booked a restaurant. I don't know what's happened to this paper. Look at it. My daughter's obviously done some drawing, pressing on this, and it's got all now like lines in it. Anyway, I'm sure that will be fine once it's folded up. Yeah, so I booked that restaurant, Bill's, and I booked it for 6:15. I mean, I'm a bit of a lightweight when it comes to sort of late nights and things anyway, so there's that. And I tend to eat at around 6:30. So, yeah, don't really kind of book tables for like 8 and things like that if I can help it. So anyway, I booked a table. And yeah, it got to like 10 to 6 or whatever. And we were still sat on the sofa yakking, you know. And I said, oh, it's 10 to 6, you know, yeah, we're booked at 6:15. So I said to her, you know, I'm not going to bother changing for dinner or anything. And yeah, she didn't want to get changed or anything either. So yeah, we then walked down to the restaurant, which was really rather nice. So I said to her, you know, well, should we walk? So she said, oh yeah, let's walk. So yeah, we walked. It's about a 15-minute walk, I suppose. So yeah, we walked down to there, and oh my goodness, we had such a lovely time. And we were in the restaurant till about 9:30, would you believe? So really long time in there. We had lovely food. I just had like a vegan burger and chips. They do the most delicious chips in there. This paper is from the Love collection, from my Love collection, bought out for 2025, sort of timed with Valentine's Day, but not all Valentine-y. Please ignore the back. This is just my Christmas leftover papers from the Christmas kits. Yeah, anyway, so we were in there till 9:30 and didn't get home. You know, we then had to walk home. We didn't get home till like 9:45. I mean, that's like quite a late night for me, to be honest. So yeah, that was kind of like, whoa, look at us. You know, we're not home till 9:45. It was absolutely freezing. So when we walked down there, it was cold, but it was okay. You know, when we stepped out from the restaurant, obviously, you know, having been sat in the restaurant for like 3 hours, oh, there was an icy wind, and I just thought, oh my goodness, why did we say we'd walk? It's absolutely freezing. So yeah, that was kind of like, oh my gosh, what on earth were we thinking walking? But it was really nice, you know, and it was really nice to go out walking actually, because again, we're very lazy. Since I've got divorced, we just jump in the car for everywhere, which is weird because when the kids were small, you know, we used to walk everywhere. You know, never went in the car. This is my Totally Dotty papers. So anyway, yeah, kind of out of practice with the walking, but it was so nice to actually have a walk, you know, and you know, hopefully walk some of our dinner off, because there were quite a lot of chips, and like I say, they were very yummy, so I ate them all. But yeah, so that was really, really nice. And then when we got home, again, we sat up chatting and things, and then yeah, didn't go to bed until 1 o'clock, would you believe? So 1 o'clock, that's so late for me. So yeah, I'm all kind of out of kilter really. So of course then Sunday I didn't really wake up till, I woke up at 7, obviously sat around in bed kind of, you know, on my iPad and things, and obviously she was staying overnight. So yeah, it was quite late by the time that I actually sort of, you know, got myself up. And then we sat downstairs again, you know, like just having a cup of tea and things. We weren't showered or anything like that. And yep, had some breakfast and stuff, and then said, oh, you know, should we go and get another Costa? So we did that again on the Sunday, but this time we walked down there. So we took Bo with us and walked, and then we met my son there. He drove. My daughter didn't come because she'd had a friend over for a sleepover, you know, because I thought, oh, she's going to be a bit bored really, you know, if I'm sort of like with my friends. So I thought, well, she can have a friend over to sleep. So she did. So I said, do you want to come to Costa, you and your friend, you know, do you want to come to Costa? So she's, oh no, we don't want to. So yeah, they were mucking about and things in the house. So yeah, they didn't want to come. So anyway, my son drove down and he met us there. So he came for a Costa with us. That was really nice. And then he gave us a lift home, so we didn't have to walk there and back. Not that it's miles away, but like I say, particularly lazy nowadays. So yeah, we didn't have to then walk back, so that was quite handy. And then we then got home, it was probably like 2ish or something, and we then just did some crafting for the whole afternoon. So that was super, super fun. I mean, to be honest, the time always goes by so quickly. Whenever we're together, it's like, oh my goodness, the time's gone so quick. And oh, didn't want her to leave. She didn't want to leave. And that's how it always is, you know, like it has been for years. Every time we see each other, it's like, oh, I don't want you to go, you know, have such a nice time with her. So yeah, anyway, so probably about 7 o'clock when she left. So I just kind of, you know, she had some quick dinner, you know, just like a pizza, and yeah, then obviously she left, but had such a lovely weekend. So, and my daughter's friend, funnily enough, she stayed the whole day as well, so she also didn't leave till 7. So yeah, it was really nice because we both had like a friend round, you know, like a girly weekend it was. So yeah, had a super lovely time. So yeah, really brilliant. So I'm really behind on my comments and things like that on my video, all my videos that I've put up recently and things like that. So I do really apologise, but yeah, I literally didn't really go on my iPad particularly too much at all in the whole weekend, other than when I first woke up on Sunday. And yeah, so I do apologise, but yeah, had a very lovely weekend. Sorry, that was from the Pale Damask set 2. And this one's from the Dark Damask set 2. So actually I'm going to do the brown one because I'm not sure I've got time to do so many more. Anyway, yeah, absolutely had such a wonderful weekend. So yeah, it was really fun. So that's the main thing that I've been up to. And what else have I been up to? So last week my son and I went to the cinema. Now, what did we watch at the cinema? Oh my goodness, no, I can't remember that either. There's just something wrong with everything I come to say. One of Them Days, it was called. One of them days, one of those days, one of them days, I think. It was with a couple of actresses who, I don't know who they were, but very pretty girls, both of them, absolutely stunning girls. And I went with a really low expectations, to be honest, because I'd watched the trailer and I just thought, it looks a bit, you know, bit silly, bit kind of predictable, you know, not great. Do you know, it was a really good film, and it came out, it was one of those feel-good movies where you leave the cinema and you're kind of like, oh, wasn't that a nice film? Where everything gets wrapped up at the end, you know, it's all kind of like tidily finished. It was one of those. So yeah, it was very enjoyable. This is from my Rose Park paper. It's the Rose Park is a kit, so yeah, that's from that kit. Yeah, so it was actually a really good film, and I would recommend it. I mean, it wasn't like a, you know, culture type, you know, film or anything like that, but if you just fancied a feel-good movie that, you know, just leaves everyone feeling like, wasn't that a nice film, it was one of those. So yeah, that was quite a nice film. Have I watched anything else of interest on TV? I don't think so particularly, but when my friend was here, she said they'd been watching The Handmaid's Tale. Now, that's been out for a long time. I mean, I feel like it was possibly even out, you know, when my ex-husband was still here. I'm not sure. But, yeah, for a long time anyway. And for some reason, I've just always kind of thought, oh, that looks really weird. I'm not sure what I think to that. Anyway, my friend said, really good. You know, she said, I think you'd really like it. So, yeah, I thought I'm going to start watching that. And, you know, like when you've talked about something and then it appears on your phone, like, you know, everyone's sort of listening to what you're saying. So, weirdly enough, after we'd spoken about it on Saturday night, when I got up the next day, you know, it came up on my feed kind of thing. The Handmaid's Tale season 6. So, I mean, it's been going for a really long time, season 6. I mean, I don't know how often they come out, but yeah, hence, I suppose, I'm thinking it was possibly even out when my husband was, you know, my ex-husband was still here. But, yeah, so started watching that after my friend left last night. Kind of had a bit of a hangout with my son and my daughter, quickly catching up with them properly, because even though I had obviously seen them at the weekend, I hadn't seen them just on their own. And then, yeah, went sort of to bed and started watching The Handmaid's Tale last night in bed. So far I've only watched one episode, you know, because of course it was quite late. I did start watching the second one, but oh, lo and behold, I then fell asleep during it, and then sort of woke up halfway through the second episode and thought, time to switch the telly off. So yeah, I mean, I can't kind of say that I've watched a great deal of it, but I watched obviously episode 1 so far. Quite good, I have to say. Not really how I expected it to be. for some reason, I thought it was perhaps set like in the 16th century or something like that, or I don't know, 17th century or something. And I said that to my friend when she said about it. She said, have you seen that? And I said, oh, is that the one that's set in the, 17th century? And she said, no. She said, I think it's set in like current time. So, yeah, I had not realised that. So, it was kind of unexpected, not format, but unexpected. Yeah, I'd kind of obviously just totally got the wrong end of the stick of how it was going to be set out. So, yeah, anyway, quite good, I have to say. Quite enjoying it so far. So I'll let you know. I mean, like I say, there's 6 seasons. I'm not sure whether I will actually watch them. I don't know whether I'll watch them all. I don't know whether I would watch them all in one go. Maybe season 6 is not even available to me. I don't know. I think I'm watching it on Prime. Might be watching it on Prime, I think. Yeah, I don't know whether season 6 would be on there or whether you'd have to pay for season 6. I don't know. And obviously I'm not going to be paying for it. So, yeah, I don't know whether I'll be watching season 6 or not. But, who knows? I mean, I might be kind of like sick of the sight of it after like 3 seasons and kind of think, oh, time for a breather from this. I'm not sure. But, hey, if it's really good, I will kind of just binge through as much as I can, I guess. I don't know how many episodes there are per season. But yeah, let me know below. Have you watched The Handmaid's Tale? What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Did you watch the whole lot, or did it kind of... Because sometimes things lose momentum, and to be honest, I mean, 6 seasons, it would be entitled to start losing its appeal a bit, wouldn't it? That's a lot of seasons to keep people gripped, isn't it? But yeah, let me know below. What did you think to it? Did you watch it, or have you watched it? Are you watching it? What did you think? So yeah, anyway, we shall see how I get on with that. So I'm kind of excited till tonight, to be able to watch it again. It's like, oh, I obviously quite enjoyed it, more than I expected. Sorry, let me just wipe my glue. I obviously enjoyed it more. Oh my goodness, sorry, I'm pulling threads of paper now out of the bin. Obviously enjoyed it more than, I expected or whatever, because I literally am looking forward to tonight and watching it again. So, yeah. And, there's not that many things that I watch that I kind of think, oh, looking forward to tonight to watch that again. I think probably the last thing that I watched that I felt that way was that, was it the Menendez brothers? That one about them. Yeah, I think that was the last time I watched something that was kind of, quite gripping to the point that I was looking forward to watching it, So, yeah, but obviously early days. I've only watched 1 episode, so who knows whether I will still be thinking that later. Maybe after 5 episodes, I'll kind of think, oh, it's a bit, a bit rubbish. I'm not sure, but it will probably only get better, I assume. So, yeah, quite good. Oh, we had, quite a few run of nice days, and then the weather suddenly turned really cold again. And yeah, like I say, although the weekend was gorgeous, there's no denying that. It was lovely weather, very bright and sunny. It was pretty cold. I mean, yesterday when we did the walk down to meet my son at Costa, oh my goodness, there was such an icy wind. Like, I mean, I was wrapped up. But my gosh, when that wind blew, like against your face, which is obviously uncovered, oh my goodness, it was horrible. Absolutely freezing. So, yeah, I'd put Bo in her jumper to go there. Because I think I did read something like after 4 degrees or something, 4 degrees and lower, I think it said is dangerous for dogs. So, yeah, put her jumper on. So, yeah, she looked super cute. But, yeah. So, yeah, very, very, very cold. But, yeah, I don't know what the temperature is kind of due to do today or what the weather's due to do. Like I say, at the moment, it looks a little bit like it might rain, to be honest. It's quite grey out there. On Friday, it was so cold on Friday morning that when I got into my car, it was totally frozen. The windscreen was totally frozen, which, it often is. And my screen washers, had run out. And I I went back in the house and got a jug of water to, you know, pour over the windscreen. Not hot water, just, you know, from the tap. And obviously it cleared it by the time I popped back in to put the jug back on the side. I mean, I was literally like 2 seconds. When I got back out, the windscreen had frozen up again already. So it was absolutely freezing. Yeah, really, really, really cold. So I had to then just sit in the car for a while with the engine running, you know, until it cleared. Because I thought, oh, I'm not going back in now to get out another jug of water. Oops, what's going on with my glue now? Yeah. But I think even Friday did turn out quite bright and sunny. Although I think it did stay quite cold. Sorry, I'm now having glue problems. Oops. Oh, I just want to say a massive thank you to anyone who placed an order on either my you know, website shop or my Etsy shop. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. I normally do the posting sort of, or packing of the posting on a Friday. However, I didn't do it on Friday this week because the restock video only went out on the Thursday and the orders were kind of still coming in on the Friday. So I didn't want to then, you know, like kind of post and then leave it for a week. So I will probably do the posting on Wednesday, I'm thinking. So yeah, if you've placed an order in the last week or so, then the posting will be on Wednesday. So yeah, that's the plan. I mean, like I said, I do try and kind of do things like that on a Friday now. But I just thought, well, that's a bit silly because actually the orders are sort of still coming in and then, you know, people would have to wait a whole week until the Friday again. So I just thought, oh, I'll leave it. So yeah, obviously there's still things in my shop. If you hadn't headed over there, there's still lots of paper pads and things like that. The printed paper pads and things still in there. And yep, quite a few other, you know, handmade type things, lace clusters and paper clips and things like that still in there. So yep, there we go. Yeah, and then I did the Easter kit, which I wasn't really too sure whether I was going to have time to actually do the Easter kit because I'd started it a little while ago and then, you know, like all these things, kind of it just, yeah, went by the wayside. I didn't really kind of like have time to get on with it. So I didn't know whether I was going to have time to actually kind of finish it off. But I don't know about you guys, but sort of when you're doing like creative things, you have to strike while the iron's hot. So if you kind of feel like, oh, today I can do that, I can make that, I have to then do that on that day, you know, because I don't always have creative ability. Let's just say creative ability, you know, kind of like, so if I feel, oh, I can tackle like those digis or I can finish off that set, I just have to do it that day. So yeah, I did manage to get those done and they're really cute, I have to say. So I'm planning on making a little kit with the Easter collection, which will obviously then go up in my shop, and I will try and then do a launch video to tie in with the kit, which I'm hoping I'm going to do maybe this week and get it out on Sunday. So I don't know for sure whether that will happen, but that's the plan. Is at the moment I'm thinking I'd like to get the kit made and get the launch video out ready for Sunday. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed that I will achieve that. Because otherwise, you know, again, when it's those seasonal things, you know, I'm sort of on a time frame, because if I don't get that out soon, you know, of course Easter will have come and gone, won't it? So, and always I seem to be the last minute, you know, and then it's like, oh, it's Valentine's tomorrow, here I am with my Valentine's kit, you know. Or yeah, like, oh, it's Christmas in a week, here's my Christmas kit. So yeah, I'm trying to kind of like be a little bit better and a little bit more ahead, but it's hard, isn't it, to to do that, especially I find for some reason, you know, creating digis, I really have to kind of like be, I don't know whether feeling it's the right word, because, you know, I can quite often be feeling it, but maybe just not have the ability to make anything. And that just sounds really strange, doesn't it? But yeah, I have to be like in the sort of mental space to be able to make a sort of digital set anyway. So I'm sort of better with paper crafting, you know, touch wood. I mean, I can come and like play around, and then even if I hadn't been feeling it at first, and don't get me wrong, there are times where obviously it doesn't come, but I can normally do something, even if it's not like a significant project or anything like that. I can manage to create something. But with digitals, I just sometimes, you know, if I'm not in the zone, I struggle to achieve anything. So yeah, it's really annoying. How about you guys? Like, are you someone who creates digitals and things? Like, do you find the same thing? Are you better with like paper crafting, in that you can then manage to create something even if you're sort of like slightly not feeling it, you know, you can sort of play around and then manage to create something? Or do you struggle with, you know, with both? Or do you find that actually it's no different, you know, the digitals kind of are just the same, and if you weren't feeling it, you could still kind of play around and then manage to achieve something? Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I can only sort of describe it as, you know, like when writers say they have writer's block, I think it's a bit like that, you know, like, I don't know, Photoshop block or something, I don't know. Very strange, but there we go. Right, now I can't actually see my clock, to be honest, to see on the clock what, you know, my camera, what time it is. I'm going to stop there and we're going to decorate because just in case I end up filming for like hours and hours. So yeah, let's do one with the Easter, because I am doing obviously my Easter kit, so that would be really handy because it would be one made, completed, you know, for the Easter kit. So what I've done, I've just printed a couple of the pages from the Easter kit, but onto small pages. Now, for some reason, you can probably see my printer is just really misbehaving. Look at what it's done. I tried to print 2 to a page. Not only do I have this really massive, great big space at the top, but it's chopped off most of the second page. So yeah, very annoying. I seem to be having printer problems again, which is just really like the bane of my life, really. But anyway, I did manage to obviously get enough to, you know, to work with. So going to just, I think, yeah, pull in these, and let's just take this down. And this I have printed on the thicker paper, that 230 GSM, because whenever I use like something for a topper, I prefer to use the thicker paper. So yeah, that's why I've got it on the thicker paper, really. So I'm just going to put these to one side. And then what I'm going to do, I might just use this part here or this part here. They're all quite cute, to be honest. So yeah, just going to take this down. I'm just going to tear that. Oops. Very cute images. I mean, honestly, can't believe it's actually going to be Easter soon. Again, the year's like whizzing by. I mean, you know, where has that gone? Feels like only the other day was Christmas. But I have to say it is nice because already now the evenings are getting much lighter. So my daughter goes to a little youth club on Friday nights now, and it finishes at 6:30. So I walk to pick her up mostly. I drop her off in the car, but yeah, I walk to pick her up. And then what I've tried to start doing is like doing my food shopping while she's there. So I drop her off, then I go and do the food shopping, quickly rush home and put it all away, and then go and, you know, pick her up on foot where I take Bo then for a walk. And yeah, on Friday, it was so much different to the Friday before. It was, I'm not saying daylight, but quite light, to be honest. I mean, yeah, quite light. When I opened the door to go, it was quite light. By the time I'd obviously picked her up and walked back, that was kind of about 20 minutes altogether. It wasn't obviously light, it was dark. But, you know, we're getting there. So I'm not sure when the clocks go forward. Is that normally the last weekend in March? I'm not really too sure, but yeah, I mean, hopefully it will be soon. So, well, not hopefully, I mean, it will be soon. But yeah, looking forward to the clocks going forward, because it's lovely when then you get the light evenings, isn't it? Now, the other thing that I would just kind of mention is I'm not over keen on having the insides white like this. So obviously my papers, you know, I could have printed them double-sided, but it didn't really occur to me until now. And now I'm kind of like, oh, I remember that actually, not liking that, you know, before. So I can take down my pieces of paper that obviously I cut off like that. And then I can just literally glue these and pop them into here. So might have to, oops, might have to shrink that down slightly more so as it slots in. Well, I think it is slotting in okay. It's sort of getting a bit caught on the paper, but let's just take it in a little bit like that, because it doesn't need to be, yeah, it doesn't need to be straight. So I'll just pop this down here, just so then you don't have that kind of white inside showing so much. So that one there, just, oh my goodness. I mean, obviously, yeah, it would have been handy if I'd have thought of this first, but I didn't really remember until I've assembled it. And then I thought, oh, I can remember not liking that white showing before. So there we go. And then just spread the glue out. Okay. And then this one, just exactly the same, can just obviously slot into the top space. So like that. Okay. Like that, and yep. Again, slide that in. Oops. I mean, I am getting a bit of glue on the back of that, but you know, I mean, I don't mind that because it's going to be glued down anyway. There we go. Squish that down, spread that glue. Just for me, that just somehow looks a lot better, sort of aesthetically more pleasing. I wasn't over keen on, there seemed to be a lot of white showing previously, where now the inside of the pocket is obviously that paper, and if you can see in there, that's also that paper. So yeah, just a little something that, you know, I sort of remembered that I wasn't keen on last time, and yeah, a little kind of fix there for that. And then, yep, got my topper piece. I've just got a bit of lace here, so I might just have that popped on like that. Now, I did have, yep, got some butterflies here, so just going to, where I find I don't have a suitable colour. Got that, or some creamy ones. Oh, is that a blue one? Which colour do we like? We could keep it sort of neutrally coloured with the pink, but to be honest, I think actually the blue is a bit more exciting, isn't it? Do we think? Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't know whether I'd call that blue really. It's a bluey green, isn't it? But I would say more blue than green. Okay, put those in there. And then, yeah, let's just ink that up. Oops. Now, I'm sure that I did have some pink lace. Oh, here we go. Oh, not much. I thought it was a bigger piece than that. But anyway, that's fine. So, yeah. Let's just see. Might put it up there or that side. Let's do it like that. And then I'm thinking maybe a label somewhere. So, let's just pop that down. There. Like that. Okay, and then what have I got here? Just trying to use things that are floating around really. So what have I got floating about? Got a blue label. Oh, that's very blue, isn't it? Got this one. not too bad. Okie dokie. Now, do I want it over or do I want it kind of coming out under? I think over actually is nicer. So yeah, I'm going to put that down now. I'm just wondering whether I want some lace going across there or maybe some sari silk. Did get some more sari silk because I'd run out of the creamy colour. But I also picked up this. No, not the right colour at all, but gorgeous colour, wasn't it? So I've got pink or I've got the creamy colour. Let me just have a look. So bring this in. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Yeah. So let's glue this down. And I know I say things like this all the time, but I'm just going to glue it with the hot glue. Then it will go straight through that lace to hold the lace down like that. Okay, very cute. And then, yeah, have this, I think, here. Okie dokie. Oops. Just pop that there. And then the butterfly. Do we like the butterfly at the top, or would we prefer the butterfly? Oh, I can't talk. What's going on with my words today? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I quite like it like that. I don't know whether we need then something at the top again. Well, do you know, I'm going to, I think, put the sari silk down first. So yeah, let's just do it from this side. It's very wide, this sari silk, so I'm just going to tear it down a bit. Sometimes when you, oops, oh, it normally tears pretty well, but yeah, this is obviously going to be problematic. Oh, I might just have to leave it wide, to be honest. It's going to be a nuisance to try and get it thinner. I think it's going to just keep on tearing, which is then going to be annoying. Yeah, look, it's just threading off, really. So, oh well, we'll just use it like this. So I'm going to put my little card there just to catch any glue, if any glue seeps out or anything, because I don't want to end up gluing the pocket closed. So yeah, just take that there. Like that. Okie dokie. Snip that down on the edge. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look so yummy? I mean, actually, that ivory sari silk, it's kind of taken on a bit of a yellowy type shade, hasn't it? I mean, it is ivory, but because it's next to all these yellowy colours, it's taken on a bit of a yellow sort of tinge, doesn't it? Which, oh gosh, how pretty does that look? Now, I do have some little bows. Let me just see. Oh, I think that's probably too blue, although actually I don't mind it. Yeah, what do we think if we had the bow there? Just sort of to the side, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness, how yummy and cute does that look? I love how that looks. It's so cute. Right, let's just quickly, I think I want to have a little gem in the middle of that butterfly. Okay. Well, hey, I've got one piece now completed towards my Easter kit, so that's good. Got a head start now. There we go. How gorgeous and yummy does that pocket look? So obviously, if you were to use this, you'd glue it, or I personally would glue it on maybe 3 sides. So then when it's down on the page, you'd have then a side loading pocket. You'd then have a side loading pocket here. So I'll just show you. You've got a side loading pocket in there. You've then got a pocket in here. And then you've also got a pocket, oh, that I've now glued shut. did have a pocket. I've closed it now. There we go. A pocket there at the top as well. So yeah, you'd have potentially 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets, which is pretty cool, isn't it? So yeah, super nice pockets. So let's see how many we did. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus these ones. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we've done 14, which is pretty good, isn't it? So yeah, feeling pretty pleased with that. So yeah, really hope that you like them. Like I say, totally not my idea. Totally, you know, credit goes to Joie DeFee. And yeah, I hope that you like them. Obviously the Easter kit or any of the other kits and papers used in this video are all for sale on my Etsy shop. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Really appreciate a massive thumbs up to this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really love it if you would subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.